guys, so as you're watching this video, I am not here in Cyprus where I normally am. If all has gone to plan, I should be 2,000 miles away right now in the United Kingdom, all the way over there in either England or Wales, depending on what day this is going up on, and I am just pre-recording this so you have something to watch while I'm not here, so that I'm just not posting videos. Obviously, since I'm away, I can't reply to comments and things, but I should be a little bit active on Twitter and Instagram if you just want to chat or if you just want to find out what's going on. But in terms of answering questions and stuff like that, it's kind of a no-go this week. I apologize for that. So hopefully the videos I'm going to be doing for this week that I'm pre-recording will be useful to you, because they are all going to be viewer question videos. So questions I get asked frequently that I feel need answering, and I'm going to answer them over the next couple of days in these videos. You may also notice that I'm in a different location today. I've not gone far, we have not yet moved house. I'm just in my mother's living room. I just thought, you know, change of scene, and yeah, so that's where I am. So today we're going to be talking about wheels and why a hamster might not use them. If you haven't had your hamster very long, if it's a new hamster, then you're going to want to go and check out my video on normal behaviors for new hamsters, because this video is mainly aimed towards people who've had their hamsters for a long time and their hamsters are perfectly healthy, but they just won't use their wheel. If your hamster is displaying other strange behaviors like not eating, not drinking, being generally lethargic or anything else, then please go and see a vet with them. So there are many reasons a hamster may not use its wheel, and I'm just going to talk about the most common reasons. The first being that you might have the wrong sized wheel. It's really important that when your hamster runs on their wheel that their back is completely straight. If their back arches even a little bit, it can lead to some severe health problems, especially in older age. It can lead to things like general back pains, arthritis, and even spinal deformities. Some hamsters will still use a wheel when it's too small for them, and that's usually what leads to the health problems. But some hamsters, when a wheel is too small, just won't use it because it's uncomfortable. When it comes to choosing wheels, I always go for the biggest size for that species, and I recommend that others do that too. And that's because when you buy your hamster, it's often very young, and you never know just how big it's going to get. A Syrian hamster, for example, can weigh anywhere between 100 grams and 300 grams and still be perfectly healthy. And if your hamster doesn't grow to be a big size, there is absolutely no harm in them using a bigger wheel. Having a bigger wheel is so much better and so much safer than having a wheel that's too small. And for your benefits as the owner, buying a bigger wheel means you won't have to waste money in the future upgrading it. And it also means you can use it for future hamsters. It doesn't matter whether you end up with a big one or a small one in the future, that wheel is still going to be perfectly useful. For Syrian hamsters, it's recommended that you use an 11-inch wheel, although smaller Syrians can use an 8-inch wheel safely. For winter white dwarf hamsters, Campbell's dwarf hamsters, hybrid dwarf hamsters, and Chinese hamsters, an 8-inch wheel is ideal, but sometimes you can go down to as small as a 6.5. For winter white dwarf hamsters and Chinese hamsters, an 8-inch wheel is almost always necessary, because winter whites grow to be very big dwarf hamsters, and Chinese hamsters are very long in the body. For a Roborovsky dwarf hamster, 6.5-inch wheels are usually ideal no matter whether they are big or small, and you can go as big as 8-inch wheels if you prefer to. Another reason your hamster may not be using its wheel is because of the design. Now, some hamsters just don't like certain designs of wheels, some hamsters don't know how to use certain designs, and some designs are actually dangerous to your hamster. Mesh and barred wheels are very dangerous for your hamster because they put pressure on the wrong parts of the foot, and it's not an even pressure, so it can lead to blistering, it can lead to injuries and damage to the foot. It can also lead to the development of bumblefoot, which is a very painful abscess in the foot. Mesh and barred wheels have also been known to lead to broken limbs, everything from broken toes to broken paws to broken legs, and that's simply because when your hamster is running, when they're at full speed, all they need to do is misplace their foot once, get it trapped, and that's it. They can break a limb, they can dislocate a limb, and they can even tear the limb right off. It has been known to happen, so those two wheels are very dangerous. If you can't get hold of a solid floored wheel, and those are your only options, I know in some countries those are the only options, you can easily fix this by just running a strip of cardboard all around the outside of the wheel and securing it in place, just to give your hamster a nice solid surface to walk on. Having cardboard around the outside should also help prevent your hamster getting any limbs trims caught in the gaps. But if you can get a solid floor wheel, that is the best option. Some wheels, like the flying saucer wheels, take a little bit longer for a hamster to learn how to use them. Most hamsters do learn how to use them in the end. Some hamsters don't really like them, so if you're using a differently designed wheel, then it might be worth just purchasing a typical regular hamster wheel as well, just to see which one your hamster prefers most. Occasionally, some hamsters prefer flying saucer style wheels over regular style wheels, so if you have the money to buy both and try them out, it's absolutely worth giving it a go. A less common reason for hamsters not using their wheel, but still a reason, is that the wheel might actually be too noisy. Some hamsters have very nervous personalities, and if they're running on something that's making a very loud noise, it can startle them quite a bit and make them a little bit nervous to use it. If your wheel is particularly noisy, and if you observe your hamster being a little cautious around their wheel, it might be worth investing in something like the silent spinner, or if you can, adding a little bit of olive oil to the inside of the wheel around the spindle, and that should help keep it quiet for a little bit, and hopefully your hamster will build up enough confidence to go and use it, of course if this is the reason they've stopped using it. Overgrown claws can lead to a hamster being uncomfortable when they run, so check your hamster's claws and make sure they're not curving around their feet. If they are, they will need to be trimmed. You can easily do this just by getting a friend or a family member to carefully hold your hamster while you use very small baby nail clippers just to clip the ends off. You don't want to go into the quick, which is the tiny little pink bit inside the claw. You just want to take the end off so it's not curving around the toe. And if you're nervous about doing this, you can absolutely go to a vet and ask for them to do it, or you could head over to a hamster forum and ask them for their advice on it. I personally don't clip my hamster's claws anymore. I use more natural methods, and if you want to see some natural ways you can help to keep claws down so you don't have to clip them, I have a video on that and I will link it in the description box down there. Possibly the most common reason that a hamster won't use its wheel is because it's a bit lazy. Especially in older age, hamsters do get a little bit tired, and the males as well. They get a little bit tired and a little bit sleepy, and they just don't want to exercise as much. Einstein is a prime example of this. He is such a lazy hamster. He just doesn't do anything but sleep and eat. He never plays with anything. He barely touches his wheel, and he's been that way since we had him, and we got him at about 5 weeks old. And he did use his wheel more as a pup than he does now, but even then it was less than my past Syrians or my past dwarf hamsters or my past Chinese hamsters have, and it was very obvious from the beginning that he wasn't really that interested in being an active hamster. So that is just a personality trait. It's very normal, there's nothing wrong with it. We get lazy people, lazy dogs, lazy cats, you can get lazy hamsters too, and the wheel is just not their thing. If you're lucky enough to have a super quiet wheel, there is a very good possibility that your hamster is just using it when you're not around, when you're not looking, or when you're asleep, and just because the wheel is so quiet, you don't notice it. One of the reasons I like having squeaky wheels, and one of the reasons that Amelie still has her super noisy comfort wheel and that I haven't done anything to quieten it down, is because it's kind of comforting for me to hear that wheel going in the night, because it lets me know that Amelie's is perfectly okay, that she's using her wheel fine, and I can kind of hear just how much exercise she's doing. So if anything's out of the ordinary, if she doesn't seem to be exercising, or if I don't hear the wheel at all in the night, it makes me a little bit worried and makes me give her a double check just to make sure she's perfectly fine and healthy and okay. The final, most common reason that a hamster might not be using its wheel is just because it doesn't like wheels. And this kind of comes under lazy hamster as well, but some hamsters just don't like them. Every hamster has different likes and dislikes, they're not all the same. I know the media and TV programs have taught us all to believe that every hamster loves to run on their wheel. This is just not true. If you've owned multiple hamsters in your time, then you will know that not every hamster is the same. They all like different things, they all dislike different things, and wheels are no exception. Some hamsters love them, some hamsters aren't too fussed, and some hamsters just haven't got the time of day for it. So there we go, those are the most common reasons that your hamster may not be using its wheel. Some of them are fixable, some of them aren't, and to be honest, if your hamster just doesn't want to use its wheel just because it doesn't want to, as long as it's healthy otherwise, as long as it's not overweight, as long as it's eating, drinking, and doing everything else normally, you don't need to worry at all. It's not a necessity for them to run in their wheel. As long as they're getting some kind of exercise, take them out of the cage once in a while, let them have a run round on your bed or on your lap or in a playpen, just to make sure they're getting a little bit of exercise, then it's perfectly fine. You don't need to worry, and it isn't a problem whatsoever. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope it was informative. I hope it cleared up a few worries for you. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like and you can share it with your friends as well. You can also subscribe to the channel, which would be fabulous. And I'd super appreciate if you wanted to stick around and watch more videos. And until next time, guys, take care of yourselves and your pets. And I will see you very soon. Bye bye.